Hi, everybody. First of all, thank you very much for being here, to the organizers for doing something great like this, especially for those two guys that are having their birthday today. Well, today we have been before the previous talks, we have been learning and sharing about gamification and those mechanics and dynamics that help us to get more motivation and engagement. And in our case, we are trying to apply that knowledge, that experience, in a different way. We used to work, well, actually we continue working with companies in a B2B model, you know, like Nespresso, he said, etc. But now, well, since a few months ago, we are trying to apply those magnificent motivations and engagements and other fabulous things that gamification brings us into something different, something that we want to dream. It would be the Facebook of personal goals. It's the way I would like to introduce you our platform, our solution. It's like building the idea together, you know, like saying, oh, okay, in gamification we have points, we have budgets, we have blah, 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 levels, etc. How could we implement those elements, dynamics, mechanics, and storytelling to this goal, right? But it would be, if you agree, I would like to invite you to build it together. So instead of showing you like our platform and our idea, we will be doing this 20 minutes discussing and thinking how could we apply those things, not for business, but for helping people, let's say. The exercise that we are going to work together consists in thinking we are all happy people, especially in this room, no? The other speakers, the participants, everyone is fantastic and super happy. But our company believes that, well, our company, and there are many other scientific and business and sociologists, como se diga sociólogos, sociologists, esa palabra complicadísima, that believe the same, that this area is suffering, or it's going to suffer more and more of loneliness, you know, like people seems to be really connected and happy, but many people like us believe that that may not be true. So this exercise would try to help to build a, we are using Facebook as an example, as a comparison, because everybody, almost everybody, let's say, use twice a day the app, no? You know, we log in into Facebook by using our computers, our tablets, our cell phones. The time we spend there is really something really valuable. The time for the rich people, for the poor people, for the plants, for the animals is the most scarce resource. Si scarce quiere decir escaso, que espero que sí. So the idea, well, I'm from Argentina, as they said, and if you're here, it's a huge theater. Maybe the words in English may, but we can invent new words, you know, like language is an standard and an agreement. So if we want, we can start inventing words during these 20 minutes and learning about gamification. That would be great because the Congress would like us to talk about that. So the exercise would be that we have to build together a solution that those people that is suffering, after using this solution, for let's say 3 months, like some time, the next Sunday night, that moment when, as I said before, you are really happy people and have fantastic life and everything. But for example, I myself also consider a happy person. But sometimes when you have some personal issues with your ex-girlfriend or the job or whatever, you know, the Sunday night, it's commonly a moment where we stop and think about our goals, our achievements. Like, I'm really happy with my goals, with my with my expectations. Son todas palabras difíciles las del inglés, viejo. Igual esa dentro de todo es la más fácil, ¿no? Well, sorry. Espero que no me rajen acá por ponerme a hacer chiste. I hope they don't kick me because I'm making jokes. So that's our goal, right? And we are going to really, those elements, mechanics, dynamics, that we learn, we're going to apply it on a real case, not for business, as I said, but showing you or presenting to you our idea of how that elements are really, really helpful for this goal. Well, the idea is we have a guy that is at home, alone, thinking like, my life sucks, no? It's not a depressed guy. We all, in my opinion, at least, I had many moments in my life where you say like, oh, I need those things that help us to boost our emotions, our feelings, etc. Well, the first thing we believe is there are many philosophers, ponele, that would tell you the first thing to change your behavior would be to stop a moment, think what do you want for your life? Are you happy with your couple, your girlfriend, your boyfriend? Are you happy with your work? Are you happy with everything? So first we need to stop and think. Then when we think, we can set the objectives, our goals, what we want to achieve. And after we have the goals, we would like to have motivation to achieve those goals, right? But the order will be, first set the objectives, first think, then set the objectives, and then get the motivation and the metrics, I don't know, the tools to be sure that you are on the right path. There are many frameworks that help us to set objectives. The most common, here are many people of business, is the SMART rule, specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, time-bound. It's a way we are going to talk about helping people, right? But for the people that here is more like on the business side, this, of course, applies also to your employees, to your company, to your football team, to your husband, to your sons, whatever. Setting objectives is something common. We also, when we talk with clients also, invite them to remember Maslow, this pyramid, ponele, that starts with the basic needs, like the guy needs to rest, to sleep, to eat, to have water. Then it is going to some more complex things like the self-esteem, the status, etc. Of course, gamification follows this pyramid, si se llama así, very, very deep. And also, we have our company, and I want you to understand that, a really social point of view of well, there are many fancy words like we have an holistic view of the person. You know, the person is not just work; it's a person. So if he doesn't eat, yes, the company is going to have a problem. But because the person is wrong, if he's sad, if he whatever. And in the goals you are going to see, in the exercise we're going to do together, I'm trying to invite you to remember that nobody lives alone. The human being is a social ser. And so we should remember that the community and the nature should be also in the equation. Well, we talk about setting goals. So let's start with, for example, 3 goals. I collaborated with an ONG, at least NGO, en español es ONG, te mata eso, siempre cambiar la traducción. An ONG at least 4 hours per month. This month I went at least 4 birthday parties or events. Blah, 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 right? We are setting goals we could discuss all the afternoon, but the first element I want you to see carefully is that normally when people play games, the goal no, it isn't to get 1 water, it's to get 3 whatever, 3 fruits, 3 something, right? So normally, the first thing we observe in business about games is that they use those numbers that are not normally 1. Why? It's really obvious. If you, for example, if your company tells you you should go this year to 3 events, 3 capacitations, 3 whatever, if you go to the first one and then you go to the second one, then you will have really a bigger motivation to go to the third one, because if you don't go, you won't be allowed to get this badge, or let's call it bonus. Yes, easy. Instead of using 1, you could use 2 or 3, and you have extra motivation. Same objectives as before. We need people to go to capacitation, events, or whatever. In this case, of course, is trying to help the people, to take care of the others, to stay together with people so that they don't feel lonely, and to stay in touch with nature, so then they don't decide to throw some bad thing to the water, stuff like that, that is necessary to all of us for living. Well, first element, really easy. Second one, I'm showing you elements of our app, right? Our application. But it doesn't matter that it's ours, it's the idea. Look at this. This guy has an objective, a goal, and he's failing, no? He's not even close to the goal. In this case, he already did it, and in this one, he's kind of close. We put there, drawn. Winning, losing. Well, we could discuss which elements are really from gamification, which ones are from psychology, which ones are from... No, gamification is like a merge of many human resources, psychology, sociology. Me metí con la palabra, es imposible vuelta. But the important thing is, first, you do not see anything red here, right? It's like if you have your son and he's trying to ride the bike, he's trying to learn to ride the bike. I'm the first guy jumping in the scenario. Are you awake? Well, yes. And it's a really important element. In the game, normally, you will have, on games, people will have like a feedback, a positive feedback. No, I don't want to repeat the same words. A positive feedback, but normally they don't tell you like, hey, you are Mario Bros, but hey, there was a bonus that you could get and you didn't. No, it's positive reinforcement. It's focusing on the good stuff and not in the bad stuff. Second one, the idea of telling you, instead of getting the whole goal, maybe if you get enough close, I'm going to recognize you, that effort, and probably if you were like, I don't know, on 70%, so you were really close, but well, not really close, but some close. If I tell you that if you get till, for example, 75, you will get this is like football, you know, like in the drawn it's 1 point, in the winning 3 points, and losing 0 points, right? So the second thing, this looks like a soft talk, but we have already seen, ¿cómo es el pasado de seen? Examples of elements that games use and really works. For business people, applying these exactly elements and the other ones we're going to see in these minutes, it's something that improves performance and profitability more than 20%. Just for using these stupid or basic elements, people really get in real life, with real results, gets more motivation. Well, of course, one very important thing is that normally you have the goals. You have to get 3 fruits to whatever. And that's one of the most important things. On games, you have to pass this level to get to take this stuff. In real life, many times, when people don't know what to do because they are not happy, or at work they don't achieve their goals and they get fired, etc. One of the main problems in real life is not something from other world, is that people many times don't really know where to focus, okay, if I don't do this, I'm going to fail. And in our solution, you have 4 of this. So we tell the company, or in this case the free application, okay, tell me what are your key principal indicators, KPIs, we have been talking about those. Or in this case of helping people, we tell them, well, in our opinion, you should go out from home to stay with people, drink some beer, have some talking, fun. Another thing, we are in our app, we are showing the average of the whole team. It could be a branch, una sucursal. It could be their family. You could be playing with your friends, etc. Well, many cases. I should stop saying etc. And if you are like getting, for example, 100%, if your team is getting 60 en promedio, in average, so you can see really clear that you are really helping that company, that family, that team to boost their performance. Yes? So it's something really simple, because important things and things that change the world doesn't necessarily, shouldn't be difficult. Really simple, but super useful for people. Okay, imagine you're a person, because we are building an application trying to help us to say, okay, I think I'm happy. I'm going to try this app or another one 1 month to see to measure how I am doing this kind of activities that many people could believe that really helps to be happy. Well, how is that he changed his goals? Really simple also. He touches the number, puts another one. In the business, the boss is going to validate that in our app, in this app that we are building, presenting today, is the same user, the one who validates his goals. But you could have your user and your wife's user, and you could say, well, I want my wife to validate my goals, and vice versa. So you have some clear, so you can start competing, yes, competing is not necessarily bad, with some people you know, even though you are not in an official team or league. This is an example of how in our solution is the validation. Everything is really easy, but it's really powerful, believe me. You can try it. I'm going to show you. You have then the winners. You have each month a winner and an annual winner. That is the accumulation of all the months, right? So you may not be the best seller of a company, or you may not be the Gandhi of the people, but because you are not just running for the whole year, but you have other micro goals that are the months, you have more motivation. In a traditional way that the evaluation is at the end of the year, time is up, huge letter. But the last part is easy to go. So these kind of things of recognizing short success on periods and then the whole picture is another element that games use a lot, and that's why when you when you say, okay, let's go to sleep, your couple tells you, no, wait, I don't know, half an hour that I'm just in the middle of something. Well, second, we have seen points. Points means leaderboard, so una tabla de resultados. So where you can see the people that is achieving better and the worst. But also, in games, we have learned that from games, you have normally badges. The badge is an honor thing that is even, in many cases, more powerful than money, than the points that give you holidays or whatever, it depends, the company, etc. If I tell you, for example, if you are on the top 10 sellers or in the top 10 guys that do activities that are going to generate him or her good habits, so it's going to be more happy. If you do it 1 month, and then I tell you that if you do it 2 months, you are going to have another light, another badge, unlocked. That is how games teach us that it's funny, it's storytelling. And then I tell you that if you stay for 3 months on the top 10 sellers or top 10 performers, well, there are many examples. This presentation, as the first slide show, is online. I'm going to pass fast. But the idea is, you have 20 lights, 20, and when you are, each time you unlock one of them, you are you may be able to up your level. Yes? This thing of the level that seems kind of silly, in many cases, like internet, Stack Overflow, and many other businesses and games, and a huge amount of examples, shows that really, because it's the prestige, the honor, prestigio, really, for example, in those people that is really competitive, it's really good performance, but they always want to have the best point, the best everything. If they don't get the best level, they say like, damn it. And so for example, there is one, the winner of likes, that tells you, if you want to turn on that light to unlock that badge, you have to be the guy who got more likes from the other ones. And that, in many cases, develops a spirit of solidarity between teammates that normally wouldn't happen. That seller would be the guy taking the biggest bonus, etc. But normally wouldn't care about their partners. But when you put that light, because the guy wants to have the 20 and to tell the other ones, I'm on the top level, and also the first one to get there, really gets an interesting motivation. Also, normally, in games and in many solutions with gamification, you will have the tendency. That is very important also, because the idea is to generate good habits. And in order to do that, it's important that if you're failing, I tell you, hey, look, maybe you're failing, you're a bad employee, or you're a person that doesn't care about many things like people or exercising or whatever. But if you start changing, you may get really better. And when you see the tendency growing up, you have a motivation. Like when you say like, I'm going to start smoking again. And your friend tells you, no, dude, you've quit smoking like 2 months ago. Come on, hold on a second, I know, 1 week more. So you have that motivation that tells you you're on a good path. Don't throw it away. Another, I have to pass fast. Another thing is we can, in our solution, and in many others, you can apply this, of course, this motivation and engagement to whatever you want. For example, to learning. And for example, if you have, in our thought, in real life, not in business. In business, yes, the companies that contract us put their courses of sales, etc. But we are nerds, well, most of us. We, for example, we love TED Talks, TED Talks, TED.com. And we think that there's a huge and extremely value knowledge that could really change the world if the people just spend 20 minutes in each talk that is free, learning about motivation, learning about a lot of stuff, even mathematics, instead of going to school. Those talks are really good. So we are trying to curate, to select the best ones, and to say to people, okay, you're sad, listen to all these talks, and then tell me if nothing changed in your mind. This is one of the last. There's another one, but it's really short. So we used to work with organizations. We still do it. They are the ones paying this party, the free version. And with this free version, we believe that, honestly, we are taking those powerful elements of gaming, and if you help us, we could convince people. I know, you are tomorrow talking with your dad, with your brother, with your coworker, with some friend, with your neighbor, and he tells you or she tells you, no, I'm sad, my life sucks, and blah, blah, blah. But we believe that, yes, we are going to fail, like many times we fail, and the important thing is to pararse de vuelta. Wake up again, pero eso es despertarse, ponele. No, but really, I'm really talking honestly from the heart. We think that iterating, we believe in lean startup, that doing this kind of prototype is not a prototype. I insist many companies are using that for business for real, but we want to take that knowledge that is already here in this room and to think together as a huge group, to say, okay, maybe our proposal, this first version for happiness, has many opportunities to become better. Well, let's work together, let's try it, let's use it, let's say, no, we should take this or add this one or invent another module. We have many modules, I cannot show the other ones here. And honestly, if we use this power of gamification for free to invite people to show them the path, when you have many choices, it's super demonstrated that you kind of block, you don't decide anything, because if you choose one thing, you are going to fail on the others, that maybe some other words are a better option. So we're trying to help people to focus on business, but on personal goals. Dude, learn something, think every week. I invite you, it's free and we are launching it today, to go to this URL, app.weggu.com, to try the solution, to tell us, no, I don't think that this works. Try it for a month, for example. Or tell someone that you know, because I believe that all of us know someone that is suffering, and it's going to be worse, in my opinion, to try to start building something that is going to, instead, to replace Facebook, Facebook is extremely proved that causes depression, because you always see the garden of the neighbor greener and taller than yours, etc. Well, let's change that. Let's convince the people and work together to build something that is really valuable, in the meaning that helps to think and to organize our lives and to measure our goals. And we believe that, honestly, if all these people that is really smart and have contacts start with our application or with other one, yes, with other one. Well, you can propose, if you join us, achievements, goals, whatever. We are listening, open to listen. We are also organizing meetups, but in Argentina. There are many meetups in other countries also. So we invite you to go out from home or from Facebook 1 second and to start trying this kind of stuff. Because if you're smart and you have someone suffering, or you remember when you were there, and you're going to be again, I'm sorry to tell you, and of course, me too, we honestly are absolutely sure that we can take away Facebook and all that crap and start building a world that it deserves to be living, o como se diga. Well, I'm out of time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Juan José.